I
All
was
right.
I was listening to NPR radio, and they was talking about that. It was saying like, um, hold on, here it is. Um, they were saying that the American workforce is down due to like 80% over the course of the last 40 years. 80% of the investment was encouraging like people to go to 4-year colleges and only 20% of investments into like skilled workers. And so
Mm-hmm.
they were saying that like the reason why mass deportation can be a problem is because all of those jobs that like, you know what I'm saying, that we can't fill, a lot of times immigrants are filling those jobs because they need workers and these
Yeah.
guys are skilled. And so it's just kind of like, man, like if it were to happen the way that they trying to present it, which is going to be, I'm gonna say nearly impossible, because I mean you don't know who is who. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know you're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
pretty exhausted. You know, trying to figure it out. But it's like that is something to really consider. Like, you know, I'm a skill. I think we all skill workers, right?
Yeah,
Technically, right?
we blue collar
Yeah.
workers. So
Yeah, we
yeah.
all skill workers, right? And so it's like cool, but we know a lot of people who don't have skills on paper, right? And it's just kind of like, man, it's really due to and we know more people with degrees than we know with skills. I'll just say that.
Hold on, I gotta go. Let me tell you this real quick.
Yeah,
Adam had an issue with her bed.
yeah,
The people who put it together didn't put it together right. The people who manufactured it didn't manufacture it right. So I'll go over
yeah,
there with some 2x4s, my saw, tape measure. I measured the
yeah,
shit, cut it, drill it
yeah,
in, reinforced it. Perfect. She's
yeah,
telling her homegirls this, and they're like in awe because I have a fucking handsaw. It's a
yeah,
handsaw. It's a handsaw. And I
yeah,
got just some 2x4 at home laying down
yeah,
to do it. And she was like, yeah, most dudes right now, I guess
yeah,
black men, can't do simple tasks like that at
yeah,
home.
mm,
And I'm thinking, like, damn, is it really like, is it, what's the word? Are black men, lacking these basic fucking skills to take care of a home, hanging up a picture, putting
no,
Probably so.
drywall up, fucking framing something? Like, this is
no,
something our grandfathers
Probably.
could
I won't
do.
say black men. That's probably just men in general. I
But the
think it's
thing is
probably.
this, we live in a time where YouTube can show you in 10, 15, 20 minutes how to do most tasks if you
yeah,
just sit down, watch a 20-minute little tutorial on how to do
and learn,
something,
yeah,
and you can
Yeah,
learn how to do
YouTube
it.
University.
YouTube University.
yeah,
I had the luxury of going to a job where we worked in facilities where you had to paint and you had to cut drywall and you had to notch things and weld some shit here and there, and you just pick
yeah,
up little skills. But
yeah,
I feel like, honestly, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but like, if a lot of the immigrants that do these jobs do leave, I feel like American men, black, white, Asian American, it don't matter what type of American, you can do these jobs.
yeah,
That anybody can do these fucking jobs if you just sit the fuck down and
yeah,
have a little patience and the
yeah.
ability to learn and have critical thinking. You can do this shit. It ain't fucking difficult.
It's not a matter of whether they want to do. I mean, it's not a matter of if they can do it. It's a matter if they want to do it, and that's it. It's just kind of like we as a country, we we contribute more into like all of the other things. Like we pushing kids to become doctors and lawyers and teachers and all, which is cool. But it's
You
like
need them.
you need, but just like you need them, you also need skill workers. Like it's
Mhm.
cool because like at both school they got like, you know, they got wood tech. He in the middle school. I know you gotta go. He in wood tech. He's in they got like IT classes and computer tech classes, all kind of stuff for them now. You know what I'm saying? And carpentry classes. And I'm like, that's pretty cool because
Hmm?
like you don't gotta go to a 4-year college for that shit. You just go to trade school and then you get certified. You know, they got
Mhm.
HVAC, not in his school, they don't got HVAC classes, but they got courses like that for people and you can have your own business. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's just the and I know, like I said, I know you got to go. The thing about it that was most interesting to me is that we actively for 40 years put
Yes.
invested more money into like people going to that. And that's a whole nother conversation because we know that's an institution and we know why they push
Yeah.
college on people because that's early debt. You know what I'm saying? Most people can't even get out their college loans and they got good jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's just kind of like that's a whole nother topic. And we can spin back around to it, Birdman. I'm definitely gonna make sure that your perspective get put in there. But
Yeah, I like this
I know
topic.
you got stuff to do. And man, I appreciate you, Birdman. Always.
All right, love y'all.
Love you
Yep.
too,
Man,
bro.
love you, fool.
Yep.
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 God.
Take
Later.
flight. What's up? What you think, man?
On that specific topic,
Yeah.
I mean, what was the original posing of the question again?
So when I was watching I was listening to NPR this morning, yesterday morning, and
Mm,
they said that the American workforce was down. They was talking about like, with Trump winning and him talking about mass deportation. They were saying like that would be bad for us because over the course of, I believe they said the last 40 years, 80%, we as a country invested 80%. uh how can I pose it? How did they say it? Um, we pretty much put 80% of our efforts into like encouraging like our youth to go to college,
mm,
and only 20% of that into encouraging people to get a trade. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And kind of making it to where like you got to choose on, like we still kind of make it like to where you got to choose on, like either you gonna have a trade or you gonna go to school. And they was just saying like, they preached that to us while we in school, like, man, you got to get eligible for college. You want to be eligible for college, da, da, da. And so they was just saying like all of those jobs. Okay, so I didn't really get to get into it with
No,
with
I'm
Birdman.
hearing what you're saying though.
Yeah, they were saying like pretty much because all the baby boomers about to retire, right?
Yeah.
They were saying like there's like a 40-year gap of like non-skilled workers. And like in that gap, that's where immigrants kind of like make up for the lack of qualified workers. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? So
yeah.
they was just saying like, you get what I'm saying. And I thought about it, I was like, damn, that is crazy. Like if he were to do what he said he was gonna do, and the way that he said he was gonna do it, like, how will we make up for those positions in such a short time? So like that's kind of
No,
like the
no,
question in my head.
it's a real question because I mean it's a real demographic of people out there like that. Like,
Yeah.
you work with immigrants, I work with immigrants of
Yeah.
all backgrounds, and like I
Oh
know,
yeah, because it's not just Hispanics, it's all
and,
nationalities and races and
and
cultures.
that's the majority of it. It get kind of swooped under. I mean, just specifically with us being in California, like most of them are Latino, but we work
Yeah.
with all type of immigrants and they're hardworking people.
Mm-hmm.
They set goals just like any other people. They're people. I don't
Yeah.
really consider them immigrants or
Yeah.
aliens or whatever you want to consider
Yeah.
on TV or none of that. But
Yeah.
ultimately, it's a big deal. Like I think it's two things. Definitely, those are people, and they definitely need the recognition for the hard work that they do put in here. And I think it will put a threat on the economy. But it does say think about like um, what you would say like American born citizens is
Yeah.
that they feel like they got this quote unquote freedom or
Yeah.
choice to do just more, whether it is streaming or whether it is being a doctor or whether it is, you know, being a social media content person
Yeah.
or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
people feel like they had a choice to do that, whether it is Uber, whether you want to be an independent contractor or do some other things.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think having a choice and people thinking that they have so many freedoms. It's just like, when you look at structure, sometimes like, it's like, I don't
Yeah.
want this, I don't want that. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's like, it's some good that could come out of the workforce. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on how your life balance work. But
Yeah.
ultimately, I think it will pose a threat on it. But I mean, ultimately, I said like ultimately like three times.
Ultimately.
No, no, but ultimately, I mean, this is also an effect of Reaganomics where
Mhm.
these trades that you are talking about, like people going to like trade school, like 2 years boot after high school. They
Yeah.
used to be able to get trades in high school back in the day,
Yeah.
like when our parents were in high school.
Yeah.
And a lot of these programs got defunded. They got taken away from high school, and it's like it's just ultimately showing that it's a lack of funding in the school that they can't do as much as they want to, and it
Yeah.
results into people having this freedom. And
Yeah.
it all depends on when you had that little moment from when you're 18, when you graduate, to when you
Yeah.
become like mid 20s. What you
Yeah.
do with your adulthood is really going to determine what you're going to do for your the rest of your life.
That
Those
was a
short
hell
years.
of a like I like how you like brought that all together, bro. You know what
Man.
I'm saying? Like I got this thing where like when people do stuff that like really, I'm like, damn, I gotta let them know, because sometimes people be cooking and people don't tell them they cooking. Like, I'm not like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
Uh,
somebody cooking, sometimes my wife be talking, and I just tell her like mid conversation, even if I disagree with what she's saying, I'll be like, man, I love your brain, like, cause it's just some shit that really make me be like, oh damn, like, wow, I ain't thinking about it like that. You know what I'm saying? So, man, yeah, I kind of feel what you were saying though. The same. I feel like, I think that as a country, man, we do need to encourage like a little bit of everything that contributes to the country. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? Because we do all need each other. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's I don't really, want to get into like the whole, like you said, immigration thing and all that kind of thing. I just feel like, I thank God that we have people that can do the job where the job needs to be done. I had a
True.
conversation with somebody, and they were saying like, most of the jobs that they do, people don't want. I don't necessarily agree with that. You know what I'm saying? But I will say is, man, at the end of the day, it's just information that needs to be made available at a younger age. To your point, like when I was in high school, they had wood tech, they had auto tech. I know some schools have, a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Those are cool jobs. And I think that people got to stop trying to make people feel like, if, like I'm a sanitation worker, like
Want me
that's
to want me to tell you some of the people I know that make some of the most money?
you know what I'm saying?
Plumbers.
Exactly. You know what I'm
Bruh.
saying?
I ain't gonna say some of the
Come on.
most money, but they make really like good
Really
money
good
on
money,
average
bro.
on like entry.
You know
Like
what
and
I'm
it's
saying?
like
It's a lot of jobs out here that people turn their nose up at, where like you have really good careers, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I never thought I would be a sanitation worker. You know what I'm saying? I never was like, yo, when I get older, I want to be a sanitation worker. But it's a good career job. And at the end of the day,
trade.
you know what I'm saying? It's like it is for sure. And it's just kind of like, man, if it's an important contribution to, what I'm saying, the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to dispose of that trash. And it's just kind of like, man, I look at it like, it provides for me and my family. You know what I'm saying? I ain't turning my nose up to nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
What's
back in
up?
the day, man, we knew a couple people, including a couple of us, me and my uncle Chuck, man. People
Uh-huh.
that that work for the Department of Sanitation,
Uh-huh.
or or waste management, whatever. I don't know. I don't know
It's trash. They
the
just say
yeah,
trash. Mm-hmm.
bro. They all had nice 2-story houses
Yeah.
in Carson, like, and
Mm-hmm.
some areas of Carson is a little rough, but
Yeah.
like Carson is pretty much at the time was like lower middle class area, and it's like
Mm-hmm. Kind of mid middle class. Like, you know what
it
I'm
was
saying? It was not
at
as a
least back in the
cartoon.
day. It ain't no real middle class too much right now, but back in
Yeah.
the day, it was a real middle class, and I saw how
Mm-hmm.
like a couple of the unks was living. That
Yeah.
was taking care of business.
Yeah, and it's like I said, that's just one of the many, what I'm saying, things out there, man. I definitely spend time with my kids, like, talking to them about just trades and how cool trades are, because like if you have a trade, you'll always have money. I feel, you know what I'm saying? If you apply yourself.
Even like cutting hair, like
Yeah.
my boy Chico, like when because he played basketball, his Damo little cousin.
Yeah.
And we used to always go to his games and stuff. Like Chico was always kind of a little old soul, a little young dude. So he like hanging with his big cousin and
Yeah.
me. Like I ain't even his cousin.
Yeah. You
So
big
then he
cousin
was
Roto.
just, and we'd be showing it's my little bro. But I
Mm-hmm.
used to cut him up a little bit. He was like, man, like I don't know what I want to do after high school. Like, I already, I'm tall, but I already know I ain't going to league or nothing. I'm like, shoot, why don't you cut hair?
Yeah.
And he was like, I was really thinking about that too. He's like, I could start over here. So he went to school, got in the shop, was working under one of Damo's barbers, and then and he became one of the more like people, like just because he was so consistent and his work ethic was good too.
Uh-huh.
Like got his clientele up, and then it's like now he got his own little situation going. So it's like
See?
what I mean, like it's just different trades,
See, so
like different
kids,
services people need.
if you're watching this and you want to go on vacation when you want to go on vacation, and you want to be able to just, I don't feel like working today, I want to work today, you know what I'm saying? Trades might be the way to go. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? And like I said, when I seen that, I was just kind of like, man, it's crazy, because I already intentionally tell my kids like, hey, you have a choice when you graduate from high school. Like, I don't want you to feel like if you don't go to college, you're a failure. Because, I tried college and I still plan on going back just to prove a point. I want to do it for my mom. Like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, mom, if you're watching, I still want to go get some papers just to show you, you know what I'm saying? Just just cause, you know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a history teacher growing up, and then I got older and had a kid, and I wanted to make some money, so I started working, and that's the reality of it. And I got, you know what I'm saying, I got fortunate enough to get a commercial license the way I got it, you know what I'm saying, through a job, and I've been straight ever since, as far as like always having a job. And that's the cool thing about trades, is like once you got certain things on your resume, dude, like you could move anywhere and you could find a job. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely wanted to talk about that. I thought that was pretty cool.